table work, once it is filled in, you just have to add and subtract. That's basically where it's at. The only time you will add two numbers together is if you're trying to find the payment, right? So this plus this, these two components make up your payment. Once you have your payment, you can go ahead and fill out all of the cells that involve the payment because it stays the same. Does that ring a bell? Or did you forget from yesterday? Still remember? Okay. And then so everything else is a combination of subtracting. Okay. So if you have your payment, if you have the interest, subtract those two to get this one. If you have these two, subtract those two to get what's missing. Okay. So these three are kind of related that way. To get the principal filled in, see, we didn't pay and we're still hearing. Pretty impressive. You want to hear me sing? No. You don't want to hear. I can talk you to sleep, but I can't sing you to sleep. It's the opposite effect. Anyways, one more thing. These two numbers, like any two consecutive numbers, if you subtract them, you'll get the principal, right? If you notice how much it's going down by, that is effectively the principal for that row, okay? Well, I'll see how much you understand, because you'll have an AC with fill in the blanks, okay? So you gotta show me how to do that. Let's fill in the rest though. I don't know if you actually, I didn't go over this one. So here is one more time. Everything is filled in. So all we have to do is subtract. So how about we show it here? Minus 401.83. Okay? I don't have the key. This is 28, 348, 17. Just hold on. Let them do their thing. It reminds me of the scene at the Grinch. If you watch the Grinch where the choir follows the Grinch. Anyways, except for this is much better, I would say. Here, we have two things that we need to do. The principal allows me to figure out what this cell is. Okay, so I'm going to subtract the principal from the previous line. So I'm going to go minus 404.18. That's 27,943.99. Is this good? You're going to tell me if I make a mistake, right? Okay, because I post these things on YouTube, so I would appreciate that. Then next is this minus that. Okay, so I'm going to go minus, how about, I'll just show this. Minus 404.18. So we've got 569.54 minus 404.18. There it is. So this should be 165.6536. Make sure you put dollar signs in the cells. If it's a provincial exam, you need to have it in every single cell. It's almost like everyone is a final answer. And over here, you're kind of stuck. You can't really bring this down because you don't know this. So you need to subtract these two numbers here. So let's go ahead and do that. 569.54 minus 163.01. We get 406.53. So I'm going to bring this down by that amount. I would say, personally, this is worth having on your study sheet because, I will tell you why. Let me just do this. I can't do two things at the same time. Because if the province has one of these, quite often every number is worth a mark. So let's say they have 3 blanks, that's 3 marks. That's actually a lot, in my opinion. That's a lot of marks for something as simple as adding and subtracting, but you need to understand what needs to happen for this to work out, okay? This is only for the first 3 months. How many of these rows would we have if it's a 5-year loan? 60. At some point, once you're done this, what's the last number gonna be hopefully on this cell? $0, right? Like you're gonna owe nothing. We just do like the first month or 2, or maybe 3 is like the max I've seen. So this could go on for a long, long time, okay? If time allows, I will actually show you how to fill one of these out completely. You have seen it in grade 11, but I do know that it has been a while. So I'll show you how to do that, okay? But for now, I'm just gonna leave it. This is as much as I need you to know for the tables, how to work them out, okay? I'm gonna